Free Guy is the newest summer blockbuster. It stars the universe's shared father, Ryan Reynolds, as Guy, a bank teller who discovers that he's actually an NPC inside a brutal open-world game, and he realizes he's meant for so much more. Now, going into this film, I was super excited because Ryan Reynolds is one of my favorite people on the planet, always has been, always will be, and Taika Waititi was in this, Joe Keery, like all these people, and the idea of it was quite interesting. I didn't really know everything about it, but I saw the trailer when it originally came out, like what feels like 2 years ago. I feel like it was a year and a half ago or something, and I was always super excited for this, and because it's Ryan Reynolds basically playing a very similar version to himself, and if you've ever watched a Ryan Reynolds interview, you know they're the best videos on the planet, so I was really excited here. And I also knew that the director was attached to Stranger Things in a way, and I have to tell you, this is one of the best films of the year. It will definitely land in my top 10. So let's get the obvious out of the way. Let's talk about our main man here, Ryan Reynolds. He is so good in the movie. He's basically playing Emmett from the Lego Movie, himself, and I feel like there should be like another character, maybe like Truman from the Truman Show. I know Brandon, the Brando critic, mentioned that in his review, so full credit to him there. Kind of a mixture of all these characters, and it really works. And then there's more to the story, and I'm not going to spoil anything, don't worry, in the review, but I just really love what they did to him because he seems like, you know, your average everyday, you're like an average Joe, your average everyday guy, and he wakes up, he puts on the same clothes every day, he goes to the bank, and then he does the same thing over and over and over. But then it's about him discovering that he's much more than that. And that's what I really love about the film, is because it's a video game movie and it uses that to its advantage to tell a really interesting story. And there's actually a really good message behind there. I feel like the message wasn't needed to make it a great film, but it was kind of nice that it was added there. And it's just such a sweet and entertaining movie overall. I feel like that's one of the biggest parts of this movie, is just, it's so much fun. You cannot watch this film and not have an absolute blast. Now, I don't know what the hell was wrong with my theater, but there were so many jokes here that were hilarious. A lot of them come from Taika Waititi as well. I was very excited to see him here because, you know, I love him. And I was like one of the only people in the theater laughing. And there was like maybe 20, 30 people in the theater, and a lot of the people just didn't even laugh. And I was like, what are you, like, what? But every single actor is just so good in the film. Ryan Reynolds, of course, you know, he's a comedic genius. He's not even a comedian, but he's a comedic genius. He really works well here. Joe Keery is really great. I was excited to see him in something else because I haven't seen that film he did last year, I think it was, where he was like a cab driver or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen here. And he was really great in the film. He had a much bigger role than I expected. And Jodie Comer was also fantastic. I don't think I've seen her in anything, but she was a really big standout here. Also, Lil Ray Howery, I hope I'm saying that right. He's great in this film. When I was watching it, I was like, he reminds me of that guy from Get Out. Turns out he is that guy from Get Out, so that makes sense. He's just so funny here. He basically plays a very similar role, you know, like the side funny guy, but he really works. He plays Buddy in the movie, and I loved it. Like, a big reason that this movie is just so heartwarming in a way is because of the cast, because everybody is just playing their role to perfection, and there are emotional moments here. There are some moments that kind of tug on your heartstrings, but it's not a super emotional film. Like, it's a pretty lighthearted movie, but still, every single actor knows exactly what they're doing, and that's what really makes it. Also, the direction is just top notch. As I said, this is a video game movie, and it might just be the best one out there. Shawn Levy knew how to shoot this really well to kind of switch between the idea of the video game and in real life, everything, kind of like the mixture of that, and the CGI is incredible here as well. Like, yeah, it looks like a video game in parts and everything. You know, obviously you're not going to have big, like, I don't know, lasers flying around and stuff. I can't think of an example, but it works really well here. The cinematography, as I kind of mentioned there, really great. And also the script, it's very fast. This movie does not drag in any parts, at least for me. It's about 2 hours long, maybe a little bit less than that. I can't remember exactly. And it flies by. There isn't a single moment that drags. All the dialogue is really fast. And I feel like that helps with the movie because, you know, it's a video game movie. There were a few kids in my theater who were younger, and there's one talking behind me that wouldn't shut up, but still, they were enjoying it, and they were like, oh, I know this guy, and, you know, you have a bunch of very famous gamers in here, and it was kind of funny to see them in here, because I recognize most of them, so it's kind of funny to see them here. I enjoyed that, and hearing the kid tell everybody around him that he really enjoyed that was fine. I don't really have that many problems with the film. One thing I will notice, and this is just me being picky, again, this isn't like too much, this is just something you'll hear me say in a lot of reviews, but there was something with the editing, a lot in the first act, I don't really know what it was, but it was a little bit choppy. Like it'd go from a shot of an actor like sitting like this, and then it'd be like a faraway shot, and they'd be in like the same spot, but it was almost like there was that little like slice that it was so obvious. And that's, again, just with me, I don't like flashy editing, but as the film progressed, I didn't really notice it more. So again, maybe that is just with me, I'm gonna say that a million times, but it's the honest truth. I absolutely loved Free Guy. I think this movie is an absolute blast. It's an original summer blockbuster that we all need. The cast is wonderful and is led by our shared father, Ryan Reynolds, who was perfectly cast here as Guy. Shawn Levy's direction is top-notch and the script perfectly ties everything together. Go see this movie in the theaters. It's great. I'm going to give Free Guy a 4.5 out of 5. This movie was actually even better than I expected. I knew I was going to like it. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. I knew I was going to like the movie. I went into it kind of having a little bit of expectations because everybody who had seen it had liked it. I know Brandon, as I mentioned before, absolutely loved it. It's his favorite movie of the year. And it's in my top 5 right now, and I don't see it leaving that top 10. It's really wonderful. I'm definitely buying this the first day it comes out, but I want to know what you think. What is your favorite Ryan Reynolds role? I'm interested to know that. For me, it's always going to be Deadpool. I feel like it's just, that's like match made in heaven, basically. It's perfect casting, but he's great here too. He's great in everything, even friggin' interviews. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.